One, two, three, play. All right. Welcome back, GadgetEDC team. Mike here, and I'm ready to talk about travel EDC in 2025. We're going to be rocking the Maxpedition Micro Organizer. Super pumped up about this. A lot of goodies in here to share with you. We're going to do three things today. So we're going to keep it travel friendly. We're going to make it TSA friendly, and we're going to keep it under $25 per item. So really pumped up about that. Let's get this bad boy opened up. Let's go. Okay, so let's work from outside to in, and let's start with the Maxpedition Micro Pocket Organizer. So this is going to be the backbone of this entire kit that we're putting together. You know, it's super rugged. It's got the 1000 denier water and abrasion resistant lightweight ballistic nylon. So super solid material here. It's got internal elastic straps, which we'll see, but also on the outside here, it's got the pocket, but you know, once you pack this thing out, you're most likely not going to be using this outside pocket. It's good for looks though, but as you can see, as we flip it around, you've got, you know, this one's packed out pretty nicely. So the dimensions are going to be 4x6, so 4 inches by 6 inches, and it's about 0.75 inches thick, but this thing definitely does expand. So it's about 3.2 ounces without anything in it, and the price point's coming in just at $24. So water and abrasion resistant, and it's got the clamshell opening. And it says it's MOLLE compatible. I guess it could be if you kind of worked this loop in one way or the other. Another feature that we're adding here on the outside is also the glow Rhino Spork. You know, and if I bring this up, you'll see this bad boy. So this will glow green at night. And then it's also got the glass breaker here. So you never know when you're going to need that in a tight situation, but if you do need it, it's there. But we've added that here. One thing I probably will do here, if any of you all have messed with 550 cord, you see this thing, these tips, I'll probably take a lighter and burn these, which, you know, if it's like any other cord or 550 light cord, it should melt it down. It'll melt these two together and really just kind of seal off this tie here. So, but as mentioned, we've got the clamshell opening for easy access. And just think about it. If you were to, you know, pull this out of your bag, if you're in a plane and, you know, it's already super tight, but I love how we've got the handle here, pull this up, and then whether it's on our lap or whether it's on the table, we're going to actually, you know, set this thing out and get to the kit that we need to get to. So, but yeah, you've got a bit of a sneak peek here. Love how we're, you know, being able to open this up pretty easily. So far, 10 out of 10, really liking it so far. So we'll try to zip this back up, and you can see we've got a good amount of things in here, but we'll go ahead and zip this back up. All right, there we go. Okay, so while we're here, let's go ahead and talk about the Glow Rhino Spork, and we'll go ahead and pull this off of here for now. Simple kind of keychain loop here, or keychain ring. We set this aside here, but yeah, super small yet powerful. So this is a glow fob that's really meant for your keychain, but again, we've gone ahead and added this to the pull here for our Maxpedition bag here. So, but yeah, super tiny dimensions here. We're going 1.7 inches by 0.3 inches. So super tiny, but durable. It's about 0.2 ounces or 5.7 grams. And the price point is just at, I want to say $11, but you know, while I'm here, I will get the exact amount. $11.99. So super affordable. And some of the main features, it's got that self-powered tritium glow. So you can kind of see that little one in there. And again, at night, that's going to give you a little bit of a glow. Let's see if I turn the lights out, let's see if anything happens. Boom. There it is. Really cool. So we'll cut the lights back on. So another feature as well, it's got a glass breaker on the end there. So if you run into a situation and you got to get out. And, you know, I was just watching a few YouTube videos of some folks that unfortunately had drowned because of, you know, various situations, a lot of times floods and things like that. And even with their window half open, they just couldn't get out and make it happen. And, you know, so having a tool like this, again, it's tough. You got to have the wherewithal to actually get it done, but at least having it on you increases your chances of survivability. So, but yeah, it's got a durable stainless steel construction and perfect for zippers or zipper pulls and or keychains. So yeah, this one we'll go ahead and put this back onto our kit. All right, pretty simple. There you go. Easy does it. Okay. Super excited to actually open this thing up now. And again, we talked about the clamshell style opening, which makes it super convenient. But then we've got the two pockets that are here internally, and also the elastic loops where we've got some of our items that are going to be here. So we're going to go to my multi-tool of choice for travel in 2025, which is going to be our Victorinox Jetsetter. So super durable here, but we've got the Jetsetter Swiss Army knife. And as you can see here, this little guy is going to have all the essentials. So you're going to have your screwdriver here, which is magnetic, and it's also got a bottle opener as well. And then if you come down here, that is what they're calling a wire stripper. And you could, you know, kind of add this as a tool to little key ring loop. So this can go onto your keychain as well. As we flip this onto the other side, we've got our scissors, pretty decent. So it's got a little bit of a spring there. I've got our scissors, and then we'll put the scissors back down and put that back down. But here on the bottom, we should have our tweezers. So we've got a set of tweezers here, and then, oh, we slide this back in properly. And then over here, we've got a toothpick as well. So everything that you're going to need for a travel multi-tool is going to pop right in here. Really simple dimensions as well. So for the length, we're at 2.28 inches. So super compact, 0.8 ounces, super light. So that's just 22.7 grams. And we're coming in at approximately $24 as a price point. And again, the main features of this Jetsetter is that it is TSA compliant. It's going to have the 7 functions as we just walked through, and the actual screwdriver is magnetic as well. So we'll take the deal here. Not super magnetic as we can see, but it does have some magnetic capability. But notice as I try to lift up this band, it kind of falls off. So magnetic, but not super strong. Do we really need that as we're traveling? Probably not. If we had a huge need for, you know, a powerful magnetic tool, then we probably need to go beyond our travel kit. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for the Victorinox as usual, but for travel, we're going to be using the Jetsetter. All right, so we'll keep it rolling, and we'll actually set some of this stuff off to the side as we start getting these things lined up. But next up, I'm excited to talk about the Spork. So we got the S'more titanium foldable Spork. So probably not super convenient to have just a fork or even just a spoon, but hey, a Spork, you can get a lot done with that. This is ultra light. It's eco-friendly and perfect for eating on the go. So, and as you saw how I had it here in the kit, it's super easy to get it into a compact little area here like this micro bag. So unfolded, as we pop this out, you know, this one's going to be approximately 6.3 inches. And then once you've got it folded, you're just at 3.6 inches. So 0.6 ounces. So just right around 17 grams. And the price is coming in around $15 on Amazon. So, you know, made of durable and lightweight titanium and super easy to clean. So something you'll get cleaned up really quick, you know, wipe it down and put it back in your kit. So as you can see, it fit here pretty nicely, whether you go there or you bring it here on the top, you know, either way, you know, in super quick, out super quick. Oh, I actually pulled on a cord here. You're not ready to be reviewed yet, but yeah, I think super easy to work with and definitely a plus for being on the go and some tooling that might be needed. Hey, when we're on the plane, we're going to be eating. If you're on the train or any sort of traveling, and hell, you might hit that situation where you get something like fast food or something and they don't put any utensils in, man. So that's always a pain in the ass. But hey, you pull your kit out and you get going. So, yep, love this tool. Okay, so next up, we've got our rolling square inCharge 6. So they're calling this a Keychain USB-C charger cable. Because basically you can, take this, I guess, kind of loop it around a keychain and magnetically it'll pull together. So, this bad boy will simply just kind of serve as a loop on your keychain. So, it allows you to connect any portable device to any power source. So, as we could see here, we're rolling with the USB, but then over here we've got USB-C. And essentially what you'll do is you'll pull on this to flip it down. So let's say you needed to go USB to Lightning port or USB-C to USB or USB-C to USB-C. So super convenient in my opinion. The only thing you won't have here is a USB to USB, but I will say, we are kind of moving into a space where that shouldn't be needed. A lot of the iPhones are moving over to USB-C now. I think what is going to be important is in fact this USB-C being able to go USB-C to USB-C, but I still think we're going to see quite a bit having the actual USB port as well. So, but as I mentioned, it's a 6-in-1 universal cable, USB-C, Lightning, and micro USB-C options. As far as dimensions, as we look here, we've got 2.6 inches when folded, and the weight is approximately 1.05 ounces, so about 30 grams, and we're coming in just under $20 on Amazon. So 6-in-1 charging. It's got the keychain design, and it's basically touting about a 15-watt charging rate, which I think is pretty decent for the size that we have here. So again, we're checking another box of things that we absolutely need while we're traveling, and one of those is going to be the capability to charge a device. So there's nothing more frustrating than, you've taken a flight or you've hit the train and now all of a sudden our phone is draining down to 20, 15, 10%. And now we're kind of in a mode like, damn, we're going to need this bad boy on, especially as everything is starting to go digital as far as like boarding tickets and things like that. So having charging capability is absolutely key to remaining successful while you're traveling. Hence, this rolling square is a part of our travel EDC for 2025. Okay, so let's keep the train rolling. We've got a blast from the past here. If you all have seen any of my other videos, I did a Temu EDC video where we got this WARSUN T17 in. Check out the top right corner and you can check that video out. But I am glad, and again, I talked about it in a previous video too, where, hey, even with doing a lot of these reviews, we're starting to get a lot of the EDC piling up. So, these things actually need to have some sort of purpose. So, this, initially thought to be junk has been repurposed to go into our EDC kits. So I believe, if you kind of look around the EDC space, these flat lights have become a lot more popular. And yeah, this one is no different, even though it's coming from Temu. You can buy this on Amazon as well, which I will put into the description. But yeah, with that sort of slim profile, it just really allows you to get this set up into the kit bag pretty easily. So as you can see here, we've got a button here that is basically the light functions. And then here on the other side, we've got our USB-C port for charging. So I'll say, on initial charge, it didn't take too long to keep it on. It does tout about a 2.5 hour lifespan if you keep the light on, which isn't too terribly long, but hey, again, it's $14.99. That's about what I would expect at that price point. We'll kind of go through these. So we've got that one up top, but then as we start moving along the capabilities, we've got this one that's in the front, which doesn't seem too bright. But then you click it again, it gets a little brighter. Click it a third time and it's super bright, man. Don't look directly into it. As you saw in my Temu video, it kind of has this blue red light flashing thing. So again, we're talking about travel EDC here. So just kind of, be aware of your surroundings if you're popping this thing on. You don't want to alarm the people to your left and right, whether you're on a train or on a plane, but don't kick off that bad boy. So, but you're good to go here. And then, of course, again, you can flow through the functions with quick clicks. If you just want one function, boom, there you go. And then boom, you can turn it. Oh, let's see how we can get it without having to flow through everything. Maybe a double click. Oh, that didn't do it. So double click actually got me flashing up top and then we're off. Okay. So yeah, double click and you get flashers up top as well. So, but yeah. We'll rotate through here and let's talk a little bit of pricing. So pricing and dimensions, of course. So for this WARSUN T7, we are looking at 5.1 inches in length and about 1.1 inches in width. Remember, you are going to have that pocket clip there. So, be aware that you're going to have that piece that's also involved. So if we bring this back down, again, 5.1 by 1.1, we're at approximately 3.2 ounces, which is coming in around 90.7 grams. If you go on to Amazon today, and what's today, the 23rd of February, 2025, we're just at $14.99 to get this into your hands. So primary features, as I mentioned, USB-C rechargeable, red and blue strobe modes, and then 675 lumens. And I'll say also the best feature is going to be its compact capability so that, hey, we can get this into a kit pretty easily here. As you can see, get that back in or again, you can pack this out however way you want. But because of its slim capability, you can kind of get that anywhere. So pick and choose where you want to put it, but I'm super glad that we were able to repurpose this T7 WARS to go into one of the kit bags, and it's made its way into our travel EDC for 2025. So really pumped up about that. Okay, and last up, as we move to the actual pockets, or before we move to the pockets, we've got one of our final items, which is the OLIGHT O-Pen Mini 2 ballpoint pen and pencil. So, of this travel EDC kit, a regular pen was definitely not going to fit here. So what was super pleased to get this bolt action O-Pen Mini 2, as you hit this bolt here, that's what's going to, get your pin action going. So let's see if we can get a decent zoom there. So that'll get your pin action going. And then it's also touting a feature, if you go bold action in the opposite direction, it's got these like forever pencils. So interesting there. I've never used that before, but we'll do a little bit of a test here. So we'll get this put back. And let me make sure I pull up my information so that you all have accurate details. So we'll test this pin out. And again, super compact, but say GadgetEDC is the best. There we go. So, a lot of the theme this year is OD green. So super cool to see I was able to pull that off. But we'll write the same thing. GadgetEDC is the best. So yeah, that was the, again, forever pencil here on the top. And apparently there's like some replaceable pieces for that as well. But yeah, I think it's super durable, super reliable there. Again, we've got the bold action and bolt here and writing. So good to go. I think a solid pen. Now for this one, if you go on to Amazon right now, you're looking at $12.99. So again, perfect for jotting down notes. It does have the pen and pencil combination. If we do measurements similar to what we were doing before, fully extended, you're going to be at 5.1 inches and the width is about 1.1 inches and the weight is 3.2 ounces, which is approximately 90.7 7 grams, you're going to be able to get like replacement parts pretty easy for this one. So yeah, definitely a plus for this one. I'm enjoying the compact style of it and the ease of riding with it. So good job, OLIGHT team. All right. So we've taken care of everything that was in these elastic loops on the outside. As you can see, we've got those aligned here on the right. But yeah, a significant amount of items that were, we hadn't even got to the pockets yet. So again, super pleased with this build out so far. But we're going to move on next to portable charger bank, which we've got here in the pocket. And again, in the spirit of trying to keep everything under $25, we're definitely going off brand here. So I'm assuming this is pronounced Ayoon, which we can show you there. Really the hope and the intent here was to get something that a power bank that was going to be lightweight and slim and essentially, get the job done that we needed, but also, fit in here as needed. So I've got, another item in there, which we'll talk about, but yeah, it fits in pretty nice. I think the only sort of downside I can talk about is if you're going to keep these, basically the cord that it came with, attached as it was when it came with it, then it kind of runs into the zipper as you're trying to open and close this. So I think as, I actually put this into action and travel with it, I'll probably take these two out and maybe push it into one of these loops on the front. So let's talk about some of the details. This one is touting 10,000 millihours. So what that means is for 10,000, you're probably going to get 1.5 full charges for your cell phone. Perfect for, if you're traveling for a day and just want to ensure that your stuff gets charged up if it dies throughout the day. And thinking about like iPhones and things of that nature, we might be getting to the last leg of our trip and we're really starting to lose some juice, especially as you're sitting on the plane and you're watching movies or even working and things like that. So, but, really the catch here was the dimensions. So we've got, 5.4 inches here as far as length, 2.6 inches, and the thickness is actually 1/2 an inch. So that's really sold it for me. Hey, can I get that into this travel EDC kit here? And it felt pretty good, once putting it in. Again, these cords are the ones that you kind of got to watch out for. Also, when you have, charging blocks, they seem to be super heavy. This one isn't too bad. It's 2.1 ounces. I'm sorry, it's 6.8 ounces. And it's around 193 grams. But yeah, it feels very lightweight. So no issue with this one at all. And again, it's coming in at $8. So that's a super deal, man. It does tout a 22.5 watt fast charging capability. So it's saying that an iPhone 16 can get charged to 53% in 30 minutes, which I think that's pretty quick and pretty solid. So the case feels kind of metal, feels like metal. And it's got as I pull these out, and it comes with a USB-C to USB-C. Again, I'll probably look to kind of bundle this up and, maybe wrap into one of these elastic bands here, alongside of the pen or something. But as you can see here, we've got USB-C port here and then a USB port. And if I kind of look in here, this is out and this one is saying in and out. So I would utilize this to actually charge up the device. And then of course, you'll be able to go USB-C to USB-C for out as well. So I did charge this when it came in, and yeah, it was fully juiced when I got it. So no worries. It took me about, I think, 30 minutes to get it fully charged. And yeah, it was ready to go. But yeah, really TBD on this one. We're going to see what kind of punch a $8 charger can actually provide. But for actually, doing what we need and getting it into the kit, and if I can get 1.5 charges out of it on one trip, I think we're sitting pretty nice. Even more so, you're going to probably have something a little bit more heavy duty in your backpack and or your luggage. We'll actually, flash back to our Ugreen Uno wall charger, which By the way, this one's been coming in the clutch. The whole family's been using it, so we've had to actually fight over this thing. But yeah, it's, this one's pretty heavy, pretty bulky. Definitely not going to fit in anything like this. But hey, you throw this in your backpack, you throw this in your suitcase, and, once you've, utilize this to the max, you can go ahead and, recharge this once you get to your destination as you get prepared to get your follow-on trip back home or to wherever you're getting to. So yeah, but I will say, check out my Ugreen Uno video, one of my more popular ones. We'll put it up there in the top corner. Okie doke. So yeah, so TBD, more to follow. I will do a quick follow-up and let you know, hey, $8 don't do it, or $8, hey, it served its purpose. All right, so driving on, moving on to the Ready Tape duct tape. So goes everywhere you go. And as you can see here, it's got some illustrations for, various use cases and fixes. But yeah, this bad boy is pocket size. Could store in a toolbox, glove box, tackle box, backpack, pocket, purse, you name it. And look, duct tape, you can use any and everywhere. And the funny part is, as I was looking to kind of create this, 2025 travel EDC kit, my last trip, I actually needed this. And I didn't have anything. My suitcase got damaged. And also I had a tear inside of the suitcase, where I would zip up the clothes and things like that. So really unfortunate. And it's just so weird how that stuff happens. You get your stuff and you're like, how the hell did that get messed up? But really like this. Again, you never know what you need until you need it, right? And, this is one of those things where I always kind of had something like this in my gear when I deployed, when I was in the military, because man, duct tape, you can fix a lot of stuff with duct tape, right? As you can see by the illustration. But yeah, I really could have used this on a trip that happened probably about a month ago. But yeah, I love the compact design, the flat design, and again, if we'll use one of our other tools here, and let's just get a small piece off of here. Boom, there it is. So, a bit of a blowout in our bag, which, over time, after a few years, if you use this thing, if you're rugged enough, you'll get something where you'll get some wear and tear, and boom, it's amazing what duct tape will get done for you. So now this one isn't sticking too well. So, again, that's why I always say, test your gear. So, and maybe it's just the actual material that it doesn't work well on. We'll try this piece of paper, see how well that sticks on. Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, that material is probably not a good example. But no, I love this, and man, hated that I needed it and didn't have it before, but hey, GadgetEDC, here we are. We're making ourselves better every single day, right? But for $6 on Amazon, you'll actually get 2 of these. They come in various colors. So I think red, black, and then the traditional gray duct tape. But yeah, you'll get a 2-pack. And, for the dimensions here, you've got 1.88 inches times 5 yards per roll. So yeah, this is a nice little compact piece of action right here. It's coming in at about 2 ounces. So 56.7 grams per roll. And yeah, the main feature is in fact the compact, flat design, durable adhesive, and of course, versatile for repairs and emergencies when you need it. So yeah, love that something like this has been created and fits pretty snug into our kit here. This will go right back in. And again, you don't need it until you need it, right? So we'll set this bad boy over here as we move on to our next item. Okie doke. So let's get back to the kit. So I've got some first aid stuff, and essentially I just put it into a Ziploc bag. So I got this from Walmart. They're kind of like snack bags. I'll put a link into the description for you guys. But initially what was purchased was the Coleman all-purpose mini first aid kit. So this is a 27-piece kit. So you get quite a bit of stuff in here. You've got antiseptic wipes, some ointments, and a bunch of different Band-Aids and stuff like that. You've got some bobby pins, which this is all stuff that can go in and out of the kit, but just for the purposes of the review. And, I'll spend a little bit more time doing some analysis of what else is in here. I just put, one thing of ointment, I think one antiseptic wipe, and then a couple of the different sizes of Band-Aids in here, but left everything else in the 10 kit, which you can kind of see, from these dimensions, which the kit it's 4.1 by 3.1, but definitely it's like 1 inch thick here. That just wasn't going to fly going in here. So again, we picked some pieces that made the most sense. We'll pull those things out here. So, we've got the ointment, we've got one antiseptic towel, and then just various sizes of Band-Aids. We've got some tiny ones there. We've got a circular one. Who knows if you'd nick yourself shaving, and then a couple, kind of the standard size Band-Aids. So yeah, you just kind of never know, when you're going to run into that kind of emergency, or not even emergency. There's even something as simple as a paper cut, or look, I was fooling around with the Gerber Mini. Check out the video. But yeah, and I cut myself messing with the blade on there. So you just never know when you're going to get. And again, you don't need it until you need it, right? So we'll get this bundled back up, and pretty simple, and, kind of cinching it down like that, and boom. We'll leave a little bit of a pocket open here to get the air bubble out. But yeah, man, again, in the spirit of safety first, having the kit here to, take care of some, I'd say non-ambulatory sort of issues. Again, small cuts, scrapes, bruises. This is good to have inside the kit. And we just, fit it right here into this back pocket. So yeah, super pleased with that. Easy and ready to go. Okay, so let's keep it moving. And next up, we've got it's called ZICOTO Aesthetic Pocket Notebooks. So we can see here ZICOTO, and I've shared in a couple videos now where I watched a interview with the OpenAI founder. He's actually from St. Louis, as a matter of fact. But yeah, he talked about his note-taking methods, and what he does per meeting is he will actually utilize, this kind of spiral notebook, take his notes for the meeting, one specific meeting. He'll come up with action items, at the end of the meeting, of course. But then we'll just rip it out, and it essentially becomes a list of to-dos for that very specific event. I've actually got, actual stuff from work meetings that I need to go through this weekend, actually. So, but essentially what happens is, once you complete the taskings, or once you understand you've got everything you need from that meeting, you just kind of ball this up, and, you toss it off to the side. Hey, that's done. That's in the past. That's dusted. So yeah. Wanted to also include the ZICOTO notebook in this kit as well, which, you kind of had to stuff it in there. It didn't have a snug fit. Now, I will say I originally purchased the Write in the Rain notebooks here, and notice the size comparison, which, yeah, that could have fit in there pretty easily. But man, realistically, I don't think, especially on a professional trip, I'm not really using this small of a surface to get some significant notes done. And again, it came with quite a few, so super thankful for that. I will find an additional purpose for these, but for kind of how I'm operating right now, and, kind of always keeping this sort of notebook on my person, it just made sense to keep that in there. And I might have one in here, I might have one in my back pocket, and I might have one in my backpack. But, once, the stacks of, really just copy from each meeting, it doesn't matter. It's all the same, right? So, but yeah, love the method that I'm using this year with taking notes and keeping it here. I've also said in a previous video, I've never had an opportunity to write in the rain, even though I've spent a lot of time in the rain back in the military days, but this will do just fine. So had to include my ZICOTO notebook in here. It fit really well. I'm pleased with it. And we should have a business trip coming up here in probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. So this will get a test run sooner than later. Okay, so we're back, and we're kind of back from the future with an honorable mention because I actually got wrapped up with all the filming. And I was like, wait, didn't I purchase a Prybar for this kit? And lo and behold, it was in here the entire time. And yeah. So here we are. We've got get it up here, the mighty Prybar. And it's absolutely mighty, but maybe these dimensions, cause it to easily like be slipped through and hidden in there. But one thing to think about is it is a keychain Prybar. So we'll bring this back up. There we go. So we've got that keychain hole there. So maybe it's worth, and I'm not even going to say maybe, absolutely worth getting some sort of 550 cord, or maybe even the string within the 550 cord to tie this off, and maybe, loop it here, attach it to this loop here. I mean, look, there's a loop there for a reason. Obviously, getting some tie downs. I absolutely would get some sort of string and look, make it 6 to 7 inches. So if you need to use the pry bar for something, you can still use it while attached to the bag. Or worst case scenario, just cut it if you gotta, pull away from the bag. Look, the 550 cord or the string within, man, that's super cheap. So no big deal. But yeah, for the mighty bar here, we are sitting at 3.25 inches and it's weighing 0.8 ounces, which is approximately 22.7 grams. If you were to go on to Amazon today, and that's 23 February 2025, it is $11.99. So we're still in keeping with keeping our pricing under $25, which we're doing a great job. So, but yeah, main features here, heavy duty stainless steel construction, keychain compatible, which I strongly recommend tying this down and securing it to whatever pack you're using, and ideal for prying and scraping tasks. So, again, similar to some of these other items, we're going to give this stuff a spin as we have some travel coming up here in the near future, and we will see exactly how it rolls. So for the sake of staying uniform throughout the rest of the video, I'm going to hide it back here in the bag and act like it was there the whole time, right? Oh, so yeah, we carry on. Okay. So let's get down to our final item, and I'll set this over here by the charger block. Make sure we got nothing else in here. So as you can see, empty and empty. Of course, you can get the visuals from right up front. But last up, we've got the Wet Ones Antibacterial hand wipes. So again, another quick purchase from Walmart. These are, each wipe is 5x7, but obviously folded in here. And decent little package size. It's actually the size of the pocket here. So fits right in on either side. And, with this sort of independent packaging from the larger box, which I want to say came with 24 of these, really easy to just slip one of these in. You probably could do 2 or 3 of these, but for now, just doing one. I think if I'm in a situation where I need more than one, then, we can adjust fire for the next one. So, but super lightweight, 0.1 ounces, which is about 2.8 grams per wipe. So yeah, $17.98 on Amazon. For this, you get a pack of 24, but antibacterial, individually wrapped for convenience, and then of course fresh scent. And it's claiming that it's hypoallergenic and kills 99.99% of germs. So yeah, you always want to maintain decent hygiene. Who knows, when you're going in and out of planes and going in and out of trains and other places, Ubers, taxis, you name it, man, you're running into a lot of muck and gunk. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to want on your person when you need it. So yeah, as we, kind of wrap up here, we'll pack this stuff back up. We'll see, the ease of the repack, and see if this all kind of works itself out. Now, with some of the stuff that's going behind some of the larger items, you obviously got to consider that, especially, with this notebook, is, it's going to be really, tight in there. So going to be really snug. So trying to keep that all together. Again, like we mentioned before, we're going to keep this separate from the charger block. And I'm going to pull up the first aid stuff and slide that in there. And again, we're kind of within the bounds of this little border piece here where the stitching is at. So under the zipper, good to go, fitting in there pretty snug. We'll go ahead and get our duct tape action back in there. And what else do we have on this side? So we did have our pin. So I stuck that right there, which seemed to fit pretty snug. We also had our light, which I'll also stick on the outer pocket. And we'll try to see if we can, securing it. We'll also, let's see if I can get it in the pocket and behind the elastic band. So we'll try that. Same thing for the pin. We'll go pocket, or we'll go elastic band and then securing to the pocket, which allows us to slide that bad boy left or right. And as we mentioned before, this can kind of go anywhere. We can slide this, inside of this elastic band, which I'll probably do. I think that makes the most sense. I'll put it over here by the light because you got to think about, hey, what's going to come in and out with frequency? Most likely this pin for sure, and most likely this charging piece as well. So we got to, think about those things as we do our pack, but then we'll go ahead and slide this back in. Okay. And we got our trusty folding spork. Should got packed away right there. And then last is our multi-tool. So yeah, I think that went back in pretty well. No complaints here. I think everything is fitting pretty snug. As you can see there, it's probably a little bit more better organized than when we found it. Start the video. And then of course it's, hey, can we zip this thing up? This will be the ultimate sign of truth or not truth. But there we go. All zipped up, ready to, and look, it's pack it and forget it, right? We're all set. Don't really have to touch it again. The only reason you might have to pop back in here is if, hey, I've got some stuff in my notes that I need to grab. But ideally, like I said, you're kind of pulling off those pages as you're going along. But hey, as you come back from your trip, you're pulling that notebook out. And maybe you've got some business cards that are slid in between pages and things like that. And we all know we've been in situations where we're taking a bunch of business cards at different conferences and it's like, who was this? And what did we talk about? Hey, that's where that notebook's going to come in handy. So yeah, I think loved it. And I think this is going to work out well. But hey, we don't know until we actually take this thing out on a trip. So let's get to the final verdicts. Appreciate y'all. Okay, so we're back and look, absolutely pleased with this kit right here. I think it's one of those things that you can pack it, store it, forget about it, and then when it's time to go on a trip, you just grab it and go. So I think we accomplished the task that we set out to do today. So there was number one, where we wanted this to be travel friendly. I think we've got it there. Number two, TSA friendly. So you're getting through TSA with this kit right here, no issues in my opinion. And number three, we kept it all under $25. So you don't really need to break the bank in order to have some really solid gear for your travel. So this is my 2025 travel EDC. We've got some business travel coming up here in a few weeks, so I'll definitely follow back up and let you all know how it goes. But I'm really interested to hear how you all have your travel EDC set up. And yeah, let me know in the comments and feel free to throw spears at what I've got going on here. We will see you on the next one. GadgetEDC out.